We live in Brooklyn, baby. We live in Brooklyn, baby.
Welcome back, everybody. Hello, Insanity Check. Again, if you would like to revisit some of our stories, please go to our YouTube channel, Insanity Check Radio. You can follow us on Facebook at Insanity Check, and you can tweet at us at Insanity Check 12. We are talking about meat glue.
You know what, hold on, before we even go back to meat glue, I think we should actually start putting the links of these actual articles directly up, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people think we're probably making up, big portions of stuff, especially the ones if we don't have any video or photographic accompaniment. They probably think we're just making this shit up, so we should probably just,
Well, some of you guys probably already saw the, because I did put the video up of that poor little kid trying to spell negus.
Oh my God, that is one of the funniest, I swear to God.
That's up on our Facebook page.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so we're talking about meat glue, another new surprising element in the culinary world.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. For me, the whole problem with this meat glue is just the history of the food industry. The history of the food industry is vile, it's treacherous, it's deceiving, it's deceitful.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as I've always said, humans have portrayed, themselves to be the destroyers of just about any damn thing. Anything that is good in this world, some asshole will come along and
profiteer, because somebody's going to want to make some money, and I think that's why these guys, not to cut your point, but it's just I think that's where these guys can really misuse this by trying to sell basically not prime cuts as a prime cut,
right? Something that's $15 a pound is really only worth $5 a pound.
Yeah,
and but I don't know. I mean, it still seems, well, I guess it's like the video said, it's more or less natural.
It is natural. It's obviously, if you sniff that powder in raw like that, you're gonna get, that's why the guys had the masks on. You're probably gonna glue your nasal.
Why do you have the mask on? This is dangerous shit.
And the guy said, this is dangerous shit, in that particular form. But it's just, I guess, to me, it opens up, like I said, if you eat your red meat medium rare or rare, you, like the guy said, you open yourself up to a lot of bacteria and E. coli and things like that. And if you overcook your red meat, I'm not one for that, because it sticks in your colon forever. So you really have to try and get that stuff out. So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and you just better hope that the scraps that these guys put together were good quality scraps or something like that. I mean,
now you said you think you've eaten that.
I know I've eaten this shit. I know.
Was it circular cuts of meat?
Yes, and I know for a fact, because when I saw that circular cut that guy had with that what looked like gristle or whatever, I absolutely have purchased those things, and I do recall manhandling them a little bit, when I was pounding them and putting the seasoning and stuff on it, and it would start to separate at spots that you just normally don't see, because I usually, when I eat steaks and stuff like that, it's usually T-bone. But on occasion, I wanted to try something different, and I got these joints from whatever store. I didn't get them from the farm like I normally do, and I'm 1,000% positive that I have eaten some reconstituted, glued together steak.
Now, I mean, with this whole gluing together, it's not like they're taking, some vinyl cushioning and sticking them with meat. So, I mean, so clearly you didn't notice anything.
No, it was all meat. And, I realized that, and this was because of where I purchased it. It wasn't like the best cut. So I was like, well, whatever gristly stuff or whatever, way in which this meat was misbehaving in its raw state a little bit, I was like, well, Dre, you went and bought some cheap shit. So it didn't really, I never thought of it being glued together though. Never. So I'm pretty sure there's and I didn't check the labeling to see if it said anything alluding to that. And by the way, didn't those people sound really funny in that damn video? Queensland, funny. People
making fun of their accents.
Oh man, Jesus! Everybody should speak like people from Brooklyn. Really, I'm dead serious. All that funny speak just gives me a headache. That's probably what was messing up the audio, the weird talking. But in any case, Yeah, but
You're biased against Queenslanders. Huh?
oh man, they just sound funny, man. People over there sound weird, but yeah, I have no. I'm more interested in, when you start to look more into and delve more into it to see what the real, like, supreme creative chefs come up with.
Okay, that's fine and dandy, but obviously they didn't start doing this for creative.
No, they basically, you saw in the video, the guy said, when he asked his butcher, the dude didn't want to, divulge his, because obviously they were pushing. It's one thing to tell people, listen, we're going to give you some glued together meat. It's all good meat, but we glued it together and okay, so obviously give you a price reduction or something. It's the fact that they've been pushing this as top quality single cuts.
Okay.
That's the damn problem. Now, like you said, the chefs and stuff aside, they can do whatever creative stuff they want because they're artists. They're artists that work with food. But it's the butchers and the regular meat industry that, we're like, well, okay, if this didn't come to light, were you ever going to tell us?
Of course they weren't going to tell us shit.
You know what I mean? So that's what you got to, it was just interesting. It wasn't one of those things that, I thought it was just insane. Just crazy because who would think of, binding stuff together like that? My mind just never goes there. Well, but they were saying you can actually, if you were so inclined, you could, glue chicken. Because there was, like I said, there was one thing where the guy said there was gluing chicken skin to salmon and cooking it in such a way to where the chicken skin was acting as a shield and basting the fat from the chicken skin was basting the salmon, and then they would, of course, they could either leave the chicken skin there depending on how it was cooked or extract the chicken skin, and you have this like encased, like moisturized, wonderful salmon with this fat. And I'm like, wow, that is a really good. I mean, I can visualize that as plain as day, and having seen the Iron Chef and all that other stuff like that, that makes a lot of sense. But gluing a piece of chicken to a piece of salmon or something like that, or actually, I understand they can make noodles with shrimp. They've made wheatless noodles by taking shrimp, grinding them up, and then using the meat glue to bind it into the shape of a noodle. So they actually made noodle soup, like obviously a fish-based soup with noodles made out of shrimp. That's fly. I mean, I'm like, now that's what I'm talking about. Not that I would eat shrimp because I don't eat seafood like that, but I mean, just as an idea. They said they could do that with chicken. They could do that with anything. So I'm like, wow, that is really cool. But that's not the meat industry trying to pawn this shit off on people.
Yeah, well, as I always say, tick-tock, tick-tock.
Yeah.
Let's wait for the hammer to drop on this one.
Yeah. But, back we seem to have a culinary food sort of like weird thing going here. And the next one is...
Feel free, please.
It's cooked squid inseminates woman's mouth. Now...
How is this possible, you say?
This article is really small, really short, and I'm going to read... Beats, do not put the photograph up until I tell you. Did you put it up already? Well, okay. Well, in any case, look at that photograph, all right? Look at that photograph while I read this, all right? And you see the kind of hat that squid is rocking. Here's one for the squeamish. From South Korea, a semi-cooked squid inseminates a woman's mouth, according to a paper published in the Journal of Parasitology. After experiencing severe pain in her oral cavity, when she bit into her seafood, the woman spit out her meal but continued to feel a lingering pricking sensation. Doctors found that the 63-year-old woman had a small white spindle-shaped bug-like organism lodged in the mucous membrane of her tongue, cheek, and gums. Despite having been boiled, the dead squid's live spermatophores or sperm sacs were alive and penetrated the woman's mouth. The sacs, which contain ejaculatory devices, forcefully release sperm in the cement that attached the sperm to a wall. Not to worry, calamari lovers, most Western world squid preparation removes the squid's internal organs, leaving only its muscle for eaters to enjoy. According to someone named Donna Staff, who writes the blog Squid a Day, published on Science 2.0. So there you have it. Somehow a woman bit into a squid, and it left its dick in her mouth and impregnated her jawbone. I did not make this up.
Well, I could attest to something like this.
I did not search for this. I don't even know how I came across this.
Sure. I mean, you have to.
Beats, you want to say something? Beats? You want to say something?
Hello.
You have anything to add about that?
This is the right name for this show. And I'm sitting here, I'm just like, yo, impregnate?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I
would have to marvel at the animal kingdom, man. I mean, you know, near death doesn't stop this creature for trying to spread his seed.
Yeah.
Literally.
One last shot for squid kind.
Yeah. And you know, congrats to the woman because she didn't swallow.
She didn't swallow.
All right.
She didn't swallow.
But you know, this stuff probably happens more often than you believe because, as I told you the story a while ago, many years ago. I was having dinner with a friend of mine at this restaurant called America in here in Manhattan, and
I know that's around the corner from Paragon. Yeah. That's where they shot that scene. That's where they shot the last scene of Mo Better Blues, where Denzel Washington County. Yes, good restaurant.
My friend is a seafood lover, and this story and the story I'm about to tell you is reasons why you should just lay off of the raw seafood. I eat more seafood than him, but the whole raw oyster, raw clams, all that raw shit, I don't rock with that. But my friend loves raw clams and raw oysters. So she ordered up a plate of those. So I'm eating, we're talking, and I'm eating. And next thing you know, I hear screaming. And it's her. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Apparently, similar to this, now this isn't happening in her mouth, no animal came in her mouth, but apparently there was a crab egg.
A crab egg.
Within the oyster shell that hatched while she was eating. And a little tiny baby crab, it was damn near translucent. It was so young. Started crawling off of her plate. And she was freaking the fuck out. And, you know, I was like, okay, well, you know, if the thing grew up for another 15 days, you boil it and eat it. So why don't you just eat it now? But of course, she didn't see it that way. She went to the bathroom, threw up. But we got comped on our food.
You sure she didn't bring that shit in there?
Well, if she did, then she was wasting her time as a lawyer and should have been an actress because, like I said, she lost her mind.
Wow.
Yeah, man, you keep messing with this raw shit.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Get out of here.
Yeah, literally.
Thank you. As Jeff Goldblum said in Jurassic Park, nature finds a way. Nature finds a way.
I mean, this is just amazing, though. I mean, and I said, you know, what you said,
it bonded, it stayed alive, it shot its stuff in there, and all this stuff.
Survival instincts of these things. And it's like, you gotta have like a no spit, you know, no swallow policy when you eat your seafood at this place.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, but you know, kudos to the squid.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you know, so he was a real man among squids.
Yeah, he did what probably no man in that woman's life ever did. Busted a hot load in the cheeks and
it stayed there.
Yeah, and didn't even have to buy dinner.
Do you imagine if we could do such a thing? If our sperm could do that, could like burrow its way deep into somebody's jaw?
Maybe we can get some glue meat and glue ourselves to a squid, and then take
that's right. Have our sperm carrying sacks of transglutamine.
There you go.
And bond with somebody's tonsils.
And by the time they figure it out, we'll be in Acapulco.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have to take another break. Thank you for enjoying these stories with us, and we'll be back in 2.